You've felt it, right? That electric surge of motivation. This time, it's different. You declare, completely pumped for the gym, the new business, the total life overhaul. But just a few days later, the fire fizzles out, excuses start creeping in, and before you know it, you're back on the couch, wondering what went wrong. Here's the brutal truth. Motivation is a lie. It's a fleeting high that abandons you right when you need it most. But science proves there's a much better way: discipline, habits, and grit. Today, we're going to expose why motivation fails, backed by hard stats and studies, and reveal what actually drives lasting change. This isn't just a theory. It's your roadmap out of the cycle, ready to break free. Think of someone like Lisa. At 28, she was full of dreams: a thriving career, a fit body, meaningful connections. Motivation hit her hard after a breakup. She signed up for classes, hit the treadmill, and started calling old friends. For 2 whole weeks, she was soaring. Then, one tough day at work happened, and the spark just vanished. Months later, buried in regret, Lisa broke down to her therapist, saying, "I feel like a fraud. Why can't I just stay motivated?" Her tears weren't from failure, they were from the emotional exhaustion of chasing highs that always crash. Lisa's pain mirrors what millions of us feel, the shame of unkept promises to yourself. But she flipped the script with what science calls the real game changer. And you can too. So why is motivation a lie? Because it's unreliable. It's tied to emotions that fluctuate wildly. A 2024 neuroscience study shows motivation spikes with visible results, but collapses under pressure. While discipline builds neural pathways for consistent action. It's not your fault. Your brain is wired for it. Stanford psychologist Carol Dweck's research on mindsets reveals that relying on motivation fosters a fixed mindset, where you see effort as a sign of weakness, leading to avoidance. The stats hammer this home. A University College London study by Philippe Lally tracked 96 people forming habits, and it takes an average of 66 days, not 21, with some people taking up to 254 days. Motivation, it fades early. Only 40% of people maintain New Year's resolutions past January, according to a University of Scranton survey. In fitness, 80% of us know exercise is vital, but just 24% actually meet the CDC guidelines. Motivation's thrill just can't compete with the daily grind. Even in success, Angela Duckworth's grit studies at West Point found that grit, perseverance plus passion predicts survival in grueling training, 20% better than IQ or talent. Motivation gets you started. It doesn't finish the race. So, what works instead? Discipline and habits, the unsexy heroes that automate success. Neuroscience backs this up. Consistent actions rewire your brain through neuroplasticity, making hard things feel effortless over time. Duckworth's analysis of over 100 grit studies shows perseverance accounts for 18% of expert performance, far outpacing fleeting motivation. Build habits with James Clear's principles from Atomic Habits. Cue, routine, reward. Start small, and if you miss a day, it's no big deal. Lally's research proves that consistency, not perfection, is what makes habits stick. In relationships, a Journal of Personality study found that couples using disciplined empathy last 3 times longer than those just chasing romantic highs. At work, Gallup data shows disciplined employees are 2.5 times more engaged, boosting company profits by 21%. The key is to have systems over sparks. Track your progress, remove temptations, and align your actions with your identity. I'm someone who shows up. A 2025 review in Frontiers in Psychology confirms it. Habits reduce willpower drain, turning I should into I do. But the real sting, motivation's lie, steals your potential, leaving a void of what-ifs. Bronnie Ware, a nurse who cared for the dying, shared their biggest regrets. The top one, lacking the courage to live an authentic life, chasing easy highs over disciplined pursuit. Science from regret theory shows that inaction regrets, the ones from dodging hard paths, linger 2 to 3 times longer than regrets over actions we took. Imagine your last breath. You won't be mourning lost motivation, but unlived dreams. That emotional weight is completely avoidable. Friends, ditch the motivation myth. Embrace discipline. It's not punishment. It's freedom. Science says you can rewire your brain at any age. Start today. Just one habit, one commitment. A 10-minute walk, a daily journal entry, a tough conversation you've been putting off. Grit builds resilience. Habits build empires. Because true change isn't a feeling, it's a choice. Motivation lied to you. Discipline won't. What's your first discipline step? Thank you for watching. If this resonated with you, please consider following.